Hello there and welcome back to another gluten-free and yeast-free baking video. How are we doing today? Today I'm going to be making gluten-free Christmas tree cupcakes. This is a super quick and easy white cake recipe which will make the colour even more vibrant in your cakes. Now I am going to try and decorate these, and you guys know what I'm like with decoration, so let's just see how it goes. You will be needing the following equipment: scales, a spatula, a large mixing bowl. You will be needing 2 of these. 2 tablespoons or an ice cream scoop, whatever you're going to use to get your mixture into your cupcake cases. 2 teaspoons, a display plate or something to display your cupcakes on, a cooling rack, a tall glass, an elastic band and a piping bag, a wooden spoon or an electric hand whisk, 12 cupcake cases, and a 12-hole muffin or cupcake tray. You will also be needing the following ingredients. For your cupcakes, you will be needing 150 grams of butter softened to room temperature. I like to use lacto-free butter. 150 grams of caster sugar. 2 medium-sized eggs, you will only be needing the whites. 150 grams of gluten-free self-raising flour and some green food colouring. And for your icing, you will be needing 140 grams of butter softened at room temperature. I like to use lacto-free butter. 218 grams of icing sugar sifted and some green food colouring. Let's go! First things first, measure out all of your ingredients so that they're completely ready for you to use, and then preheat your oven to 180 degrees C on a conventional oven, 160 degrees C on a fan oven, or gas mark 4. It is now time to prepare our tray, so we are going to be needing our cupcake or muffin tray and our cupcake cases. So now that we have our cupcake cases and our cupcake tray, you'll notice that for this recipe I don't have my spray oil. Now, that is because my spray oil makes the cupcakes sort of cave in on themselves, which isn't useful. So we are now simply and easily just going to place our cupcake cases into our cupcake tray. You will notice that I've gone for really Christmassy ones. Just to let you know, my dog Magic is down here and she's fast asleep in case you hear snoring in the background. But to continue, we are now going to place this off to the side until we're ready to bake. So now that we have done all that prep work, it is now time to begin actually making our cakes. So for this you will be needing your butter, your caster sugar, your spatula, your first large mixing bowl, and your wooden spoon or your electric hand whisk. So to start with actually making the cakes, we need to put the butter into our mixing bowl. Scraping down the sides to get as much in there as possible. And now we are going to sprinkle on our caster sugar all over the butter. Come on, love. And now we are going to mix these together until light and fluffy. Now that this is done, grab your egg whites. Now that we have our egg whites, we're going to place these in one big go into our mixture. Now we are going to mix these together until they are well combined. This is really important. I say this in every video because if we don't mix these well enough and there are lumps of butter in the batter, they will create air pockets in the cakes. And I also think that mixing these together as much as we do makes the cakes fluffier in the first place. So, first place. Now that this is all nice and smooth, grab your green food colouring. Now before I add my food colouring, I'm just going to scrape down the sides of my mixing bowl so that I can colour the mixture as much as possible. And now I'm going to add my food colouring. I am going to do this like 1 or 2 times, mainly because I have found that adding the flour makes the colour a little bit lighter. So I'm going to go slightly darker than I want to in this mixture, and then I'll let the flour lighten it a bit. So I've done that bit. See how we get on. Now this isn't quite dark enough for me, so I'm going to add some more in. I want it to be quite dark, like really dark. Oh, running out. I'll need to get another one for the icing. Come on, love, you got this. Muscles. And now I'm going to mix it again. Now that is more how I want it, so I'm now going to grab my flour and mix that in. Now that I've got my gluten-free self-raising flour, I'm going to, mixing all the time, add a little bit of this flour to my mixture until it is fully combined. Right, little. There we go. So now that I've done that, I am just going to scrape down my flour bowl. And then I'm going to scrape down the sides of my mixing bowl just to get it all in there. And now I'm going to mix one final time for good luck. So now that our mixture is all ready, we are now going to place it into our cupcake cases. So for this we are going to need our cupcake tray and whatever we're using to get our mixture into our cupcake cases. So now that we've got our cupcake cases and our tablespoons or whatever you're using to get your mixture into your cupcake cases, we are now going to begin putting our cupcake mixture into our cupcake cases. So just take a tablespoon and plonk it in. So now that our cupcake mixture is spread evenly between our cupcake cases, we are going to place our cupcakes into the oven for 10 to 15 minutes until we insert a cake tester, a skewer, a toothpick or a teaspoon handle and it comes out completely clean. Cupcakes that are slightly higher may need a bit longer, so add an extra 2 minutes, a minute or 2 minutes wherever you feel it needs it. And then once they are cooked, we are going to take them out of the oven and leave them in their cupcake tray to cool on a cooling rack for 10 minutes. And then after those 10 minutes, we're going to take our cupcakes out of our cupcake tray, place them onto our cooling rack to cool completely. Then we are going to begin making our icing. Now that our cupcakes are out of the oven and are cooling, it is now time to begin making our icing. For this you will be needing your icing sugar, your green food colouring and your butter, along with a spatula, your second large mixing bowl or the first one if you are efficient on washing up, and your wooden spoon or electric hand whisk. So the first thing in actually making the icing sugar is to place all of the butter into the mixing bowl. Now that we have our butter in our mixing bowl, we are going to, mixing all the time, add a little bit of our icing sugar to our butter at a time. I can't get this right. We're going to add a little bit of the icing sugar at a time to the mixture, mixing all the time until it is well combined. That is what I should have said at the beginning, and I'm not very good at this, as per usual. I don't know why I do this. Honestly, I don't. So now that that is mixed all together, we are going to scrape down the sides and the other side apparently of our icing sugar bowl. And now we're going to scrape round the sides of our mixing bowl. I'm now going to add in my green food colouring. It is to whatever colour you would like it. I'm going to start little and often with it, mixing in between additions. Now that isn't quite dark enough for me, so I'm going to add a little bit more. And I'm going to mix again and see how this one turns out. And I'm just going to add, this is the last one I'm going to do because I'm worried about using all of this up in this, but I'm going to just do one big last squeeze and I'm going to leave it at that. Mix this in and see what we get. Now this is looking a lot more like I wanted, so I'm now going to put it in a piping bag ready for when my cupcakes have cooled. So for this you are going to need your tall glass, your piping bag and your elastic band. Now that we've got our tall glass, our plastic bag and our scissors, we need scissors, hold on. Okay, now that I've got everything, shall we try this again? Now that we've got our tall glass, our piping bag, an elastic band and our scissors, we are now going to begin putting our icing into our piping bag. For this, by the way, if you are going to be using a tip, now would be the time to add it because I am personally not going to be using a tip, but it's completely up to you. So with or without your tip, stretch out your piping bag. You will have done that if you added a tip. Fold the end right over so that the icing doesn't go right to the bottom of your piping bag. Place inside your tall glass. Wrap the edges of your piping bag around your tall glass. Add your elastic band so that it doesn't flop about everywhere while you're trying to add your icing. And now simply just add your icing to the piping bag. Get in there. There we go. Okay, now that we have added all of our icing to our piping bag, we are going to remove the elastic band and then we are going to take the sides of our piping bag, scooch that up over, there we go. See? Scrape down the icing as much as we can. I think I picked too smaller glass for this. Put this down as much as we can. Take out our piping bag, zhuzh it around, and now, oh, to help if it didn't unravel, and now we are going to add our elastic band to the top of our piping bag so that when we squeeze the icing out, it will not flop back over the edges all over your hands. Okay. Wow, right, so now that that is done, we are going to wait for our cupcakes to completely finish cooling and then it is time to decorate. Okay, now that our cupcakes have completely cooled, it is now time to start icing them. So we are going to remove our icing, trim the end off for as much as you would like to come out at a time. Then we're going to decorate. Decorate however you want. I'm not very good at decoration, as I said at the beginning, because I haven't had a great experience. I haven't had a lot of experience doing it, so we're going to give this a go. That actually does not look too bad. Yeah, it's kind of caved in on the side. Let's see if we can edit that. No, I'm not going to because that will ruin it even more. But I'm quite impressed with that. So, place that off to one side. Decorate your cupcakes however you'd like and then place them... Oh, goodness, magic moved and scared the life out of me. And place them on your display plate. And I will see you after. And that is it. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description as I love them all and wouldn't put them there if I didn't, including the recipe for these lovely cakes and my shop where you'll be able to buy all of the flour and equipment you will need for this recipe. If you do make these at home, don't forget to tag me on Instagram and use the hashtag bakingwithvickiie so I can see your creations. Let me know in the comments of anything else you'd like to see me make gluten or yeast free, as I do both. And finally, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you next time. Bye!